Hi YouTube, it's Resale Tessa here with you with another What Sold on Sunday. Actually had a pretty good weekend. My sales for the week are up about 14% from last week. Actually haven't done a video in a couple weeks, so but that's where I am. Everything's still on the up and up. I am showing a current 149.4% increase since the same period last year. So that's staying on that increase. As I said in my last video, we met our goals for the month of April. So May, we have been hitting it hard. I actually was out of town last week, so this was a great weekend considering I was out of town. But I had my son packing my orders, as usually if we have someone here, then I just have them pack orders for the week. And I usually have enough drafts so that I can at least get a few listings up, later in the week. I didn't get a lot. I actually probably only got about a dozen listings up this week. Maybe a few more than that, but I did a few listings on Monday, did a few more listings on Tuesday. I think I did a few on Thursday, and I might have done one or two on Friday. So it really was, really didn't do very much at all this past week. But it was still a very good week, even with the listings that I already had up and the sales that I ran. So I'm very pleased with that. And actually my sales for the week were, about $369, which is not a huge amount of money, but that's up from the 302 that I have actually had for about that's been about average for me each week. So of course, we're at any increase is good, and we're going to keep chugging along and keep getting it. So I have 7 items for you today that are going out. So we're going to do this very quickly so I can get them actually shipped up. And let's see, the first item that we have, and just as a little reminder, I do bag all my clothes. I have the little inventory things, and I'm doing the clips. I saw this with, I think, Prof Sales and Just Ask Karen, or Karen, excuse me, that they were using these little slips, and it's worked out really well with the clothes because I have a number of tags for each box, and so then when I use up my tags, I know that my box is probably pretty full, and I do a good mix of ties in there too, so then the boxes don't get overly full as well. It works out really, really well. So at any rate, this is, and I'm not going to take it out of the bag, but this is a pair of Nike Golf Dry Fit pants with the adjustable waist. These are boys 26, probably would even fit a very petite woman. They are in impeccable condition. I actually got these at the bin, so I know I didn't pay more than $2 for them. Sold them for $9.09. Now that was on sale because I've done that recently. If stuff hasn't sold within a week or two, I've gone ahead and started running sales on it, anywhere from 20 to 40%, depending on the weekend and what goal I'm trying to meet. It's worked really well for me to do it that way, because I have just kept stuff moving and I'm still making a profit. It's not always as steep of a profit as I would like, but it's a profit. And as I am finding items that have a higher ROI for me to sell, my averages are still going to continue to increase even with my sales. And so I'm fine with shipping the things that have been sitting in my store longer for a lesser profit, just to get my money back from those items, to get my investment back so that I can turn around and apply it to other things. So I got $9.09 plus shipping. Customer did pay shipping, so I actually collected a total of $14.24. These are very light, so the cut probably, in all honesty, will only cost me $2.66 to ship, maybe $2.70. I think it might be $2.81 or something now. Actually, looking at this now, looks like $2.92 is actually where it's at. So I'll end up $3 in shipping. Probably the shipping will pay the fees. I will still make about $7 on these, figuring that I paid about maybe $2 at the bins, because they don't weigh hardly anything. The next item that I got is actually another clothing item, and this is a men's lowrider button front shirt. And lowrider is just another, it's kind of an urban hip hop kind of brand, I think is what some people call it. This is just a plaid, nothing special. It's just a black, gray, and white plaid. Has the lowrider logo on the pocket. I actually picked it up just because I thought it was different and thought that it might actually sell. You can tell from the fabric that it's a really nice blend. It's not going to wrinkle. It's not going to require ironing. That, to me, makes it a very nice thing, and I figured that it would probably sell. Paid $2.50 for it. This item sold for $17.95 plus shipping for a total of $22.40 out the door. So a nice profit. Like I said before, usually my shipping ends up covering most of my fees because I do calculated shipping and I get that discount from my store and from my top rated seller discount. So, you know, I'm not really, the fees tend to be covered there. And so mostly on that particular item, I'm probably going to make about $15 profit. And again, these are just rough estimates. I'm not actually sitting and doing the figures on these for you. I just am doing a quick estimate in my head. It's going to be, you know, give or take around $15. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at things. The next item that I have is actually a game board. As I've said, I've been trying to sell off as many of these as possible, and I've been dropping down my price, but I actually have put most of my game boards that I already had listed. I'm not really listing any new ones unless they're older antique or vintage game boards that I know are actually going to sell for more money. But some of the older ones that I already had and I already had listed, I have dropped down to $3.49 for the game board themselves, and I've even run some sales where there's 20% off of that. But this one actually sold at the full price, which is $3.49, and the customer paid shipping for a total of $10.19 out the door. It is a very low weight board, so it will definitely go in a poly mailer with some cardboard, and it will still be first class. So I'll again make pretty good profit on that item. The next item I have is actually a Uniden set of phones. This is the DCX 150 phone. It is the handset, the charger base, and the AC cord for that. And I actually had a whole bunch of these. We had an entire bin that we got from a company that had given us a bunch of office supplies, and the same company that I have sold off all the cables from, when they closed out their local warehouse, they actually had a bunch of phones and things. And this was actually locally because they moved their warehouse to another state. And they knew, again, that we sold. And just like they had given us a lot of their leftover inventory when they had gotten out of a particular category selling. But this time they moved their warehouse. And so they gave us all their office supplies. And it included a whole bunch of phones, all their handsets. And I finally got around to testing them in the last couple weeks, and even they had the boxes, they had the instruction papers, they had everything together. Now, I did take them out of the boxes because I don't want to worry about trying to ship the box. I still have 2 more of these available. I sold it for $13.99 plus shipping for a total of $20.69 out the door. A completely free item that cost me nothing. So that's a great return on investment there. And I have 2 more of those. So even with fees, you figure about $13 profit on each phone, and I have 2 more for that same listing. So like I said, great investment on my time there. And the next item I have has been in my store for a little while, but I knew eventually that it would sell. This is a 1993 vintage Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs action figure. This is actually just Sleepy. And it goes with a set, obviously. And I've had him for a while, found him in a bag of toys. Honestly, probably didn't pay more than, pennies for it. And it was in my earlier days of doing a lot of toys where I could get and sell toys for, I was selling a lot of things for $6.99, $7.99, and things like that. And so I had this listed. So it's just been kind of sitting there. I figured eventually it would sell, and it did. It sold for $6.99, and that does include shipping. So for an item that I paid, pennies for, I'm going to make about $2 on this item. Not a huge profit. I am getting away from some of those smaller things, but it's nice to see those items move out of my inventory. So that's great. The next item is actually another one of my littles, one of my small Tokens, again, I don't mind selling these for less because I sell multiples of them. I do tend to sell 3, 4, 5 tokens a week. It's not a huge amount of money, but it's a nice little padding to the money that I bring in. They literally take up a space that's about 2 by 3 feet, big. It's a just a little drawer container, and I have multiple tokens in there. And it literally, I actually had a Monopoly game the other week that I opened up, pulled the tokens out, and added them to my inventory. And it literally takes me 5 minutes to pull the tokens out, put them in the right drawer, and adjust my inventory number. So it's a very quick thing. And then they cost almost nothing to ship. They're $2.66 to ship them. So I don't mind that. I make, when I figured up profits minus the sales minus all the fees, including the eBay and the PayPal fees and the shipping, the profit on these is about $2.24. So again, it's not a huge profit on a single item, but when you figure that I sell half a dozen of these a week, then, it adds up, and it just doesn't require any maintenance at this point. So I'll keep them in my store. The last item that I have is another item that was passed to me from my husband out of his death pile. This comes from the Radica Mindflex game. This is the headset controller that goes with it. And we actually had 2 of these that we could sell. One of them was missing a couple pieces. And so instead of trying to sell everything all together, I decided to list one complete game with everything in it, and then the other one to piece out the parts. I actually probably will make more money off of the one that I'm piecing out, but then it's also more work because it's multiple items that I have to ship. So, either way, you're going to end up spending the time, whether you try and do it all together, whether you piece it out. But being this one was missing some pieces, this just made sense to go ahead and get more money for the pieces. And I didn't want to piece out the whole other game because it would require more shipping. So hoping that one will just sell one big lot and it'll be done. But at any rate, I think my husband, one of them, I think he paid like $4.99 for, and the other one, I think he paid like 99 cents. So not a whole lot of money in either of these. So even if I say this came from the 99-cent game and I split it up into 3 or 4 listings, so you can figure no more than a quarter probably for this item as far as our cost in this. The item sold for $12.59, and that does include shipping. It actually was in my sale this past weekend, and it actually should not have been because typically I don't run a 30 or 40% off sale on any items that do not have shipping separate, where the customer pays the shipping. I usually only do the sale on items that have separate shipping, and that way I know that even if I cut the price in half, my shipping's covered, my fees are covered, and I'm still going to make a little bit of a profit. So, but occasionally one slips through. I probably checked the wrong box without meaning to. Not a huge deal. It just means the profit on this one is not as good. Probably only making $5 or $6 profit off of it. But again, off an item that if I allocate that this one came from the 99-cent box and I broke it into 4 listings, then literally I'm only paying about 25 cents for this item. So no loss there. So that's good. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of a profit, but you have to honor your sales when they come through, whether you even if you're taking a loss. So just remember that you really do not want to be taking a ding on eBay by canceling a sale because you didn't like the profit that you're making off of it. You're better off to just ship that item out and move on to the next item. Learn from your mistakes than you are to make the customer mad by canceling the sale and then putting it back up and saying, sorry, that was a mistake in price. Obviously, if you're talking about an item that's thousands of dollars and you sold it for 20, then yeah, that would be a problem, and I would not want to do that. But with this kind of an item, I think I had them listed for like $14.99 free shipping, and it shouldn't have been on sale. It ended up being 12 something on sale. Is that what it was? Yeah, $12.59 on sale, and there was free shipping. So yes, I'm taking a little bit of a ding, but it's still profit. So I'm just going to move on. There's no point in sitting. And that's just kind of my little tidbit, my advice for today. So that is all that I have. That was 7 items. Those are just the 7 items that sold on Sunday. We did have several that shipped out on Saturday and had a very good week. I think actually my son shipped out like 10 items last Monday. So Sales this week have been good. It's been a lot of small stuff, but I'm moving stuff out of my inventory, which is always great. And pretty much everything has been a profit. So very happy with that. Just keep chugging along. We are halfway through the month of May, and I have a goal of $2,500 in sales this month for eBay. Excuse me, $2,500 a month gross sales across all of our venues, and that includes my husband and mine store. That includes Amazon FBA. If we sell anything on Facebook, it's our total gross sales for the month. And we have a goal of 2,500. Now we have a goal of moving up to the point where we're making like 10 to 12,000 a month, where we would actually be hopefully have enough profit at that point that my husband can consider quitting his job. But we have to start small. And so it's baby steps each month. It's make changes each month that we can see a visible change or a visible increase, a measurable increase in our profit month to month with the changes that we're making. And so as long as I'm still seeing an increase with the little changes that I'm making, then I know we're on the right track. I am trying to build a business that's going to support us and sustain our family. So I don't want to be making big drastic changes in how we're doing things, because then that leaves you at risk of making mistakes that could end up drastically cutting your income the next month. So I'm very happy with the very slow and steady increase in sales that we are getting. And that's another reason why I'm doing these videos. As I've said before, YouTube videos are not priority. This is just kind of a hobby for me at this point. And then just to get the information out there so that you can see it, where we're at with our business. And, as we learn, you're getting to benefit from the mistakes and, even the successes that we have. So that is it for today. Everybody have a great day and happy selling.